on the quality of life framework, the interrelated factor of prosperity, society, health, government, and environment. Our team consists of 6 members who have came together to investigate the complex relationship between these important aspects of human well-being. Using RStudio and ggplot, we will explore various data sets to gain insights into the impact of these factors on each other. By examining trends and patterns, we hope to identify key areas where improvements can be made to promote a healthier and more sustainable world for all. Through this analysis, we aim to contribute on ongoing efforts to improve global well-being and advance our understanding of the complex interaction between society, health, government, and environment. We hope that our finding will be useful for policymakers, researchers, and anyone interested in promoting a more prosperous, equitable, and sustainable future. Now, my teammate Neil will take further.
So the first aspect of the quality of life framework would be prosperity. I'm gonna discuss the analysis on prosperity. Here we are analyzing employment rate, that is in percentage, by education attainment, and the data is for past 5 years, that is from 2018 to 2022. From the following analysis and from the following figure, we can see that the people who have attained just the basic education, that is 0 to 8 years, has the least employment rate over the years. But the people who have done post secondary certificate or diploma have the highest rate of employment, and this trend is across all the 5 years. One thing that is noticed in all of the education attainment lines is that in 2022 there is seen a big drop in the employment rate in all sectors. So that is a big thing to notice. Moving on, we are going to move on to society, where my colleague Yashank is going to take it forward.
So I'm going to talk about society. As shown in the figure 2, we contrasted the percentages of men and women who feel as though they are contributing to society. While the majority of males do not experience loneliness, the majority of women do experience loneliness occasionally. Men and women who constantly feel lonely are almost evenly split. Only half of the population rarely feels lonely, and less than a quarter of the population feels lonely, according to the total pie chart that depicts loneliness in society as a whole. This indicates that 50% of people live alone or experience loneliness, which has a significant negative impact on their quality of life. They may also experience mental effects. The Canadian government must take the lead in developing new initiatives that will broaden participation in society. Now, my teammate Mansi will take over.
So in this section, the life expectancy in Canada was the third element that we have considered. Life expectancy offers information on a population's health and happiness. Considering the current mortality rates as well as other elements including lifestyle, environment, and access to healthcare, it shows the typical number of years that a person might anticipate living. Here, we compare the 5-year average life expectancy between provinces using a life expectancy data frame. Prince Edward Island, British Columbia, and Quebec are the 3 provinces with the highest life expectancy, that is above 65 years. The lowest life expectancy is in Newfoundland and Labrador, which is around 63 years. Since the difference between the greatest and the lowest state is not very large, we can estimate that the average life expectancy in Canada is roughly 60 years. Since a person appeared to live a life of 60 years on average, this indicates that the quality of life in Canada is good in terms of health. Now, my teammate Monarch will take over for the next part of the analysis.
The rate of victimization, particularly violent victimization, is another element we consider to be essential in assessing the quality of life. Victimization-related emotional distress may result in signs of anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and diminished sense of security and safety. Victimization can lead to a diminished sense of confidence in other people and a loss of faith in societal institutions like the justice system and law enforcement, which can result in feelings of loneliness and hopelessness. To compare the percentage of victimization and violent victimization by province, we utilized a bar graph. So the figure 4, the bar graph, shows that the percentage of victims is higher than the percentage of violent victims across all states. And the highest victimization and violent victimization rates are in Alberta and the Northwest Territories, 27% each, followed by Nunavut. And the lowest victimization and violent victimization rates are in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, 13% roughly for each. Another point to note is that Nunavut has a higher percentage of violent victimization than overall victimization. This indicates that, in comparison to other states, people of Alberta, Nunavut, and the Northwest Territories do not have a high quality of life. They will be impacted both monetarily, psychologically by this. In order to raise the standard of living, the state of government should take the necessary step to lower these figures. My teammate Ivan will conclude from here. Thank you.
So the last factor that we considered for the examining the quality of life in Canada is the environment. So the usage of water is somewhat necessary for any country to determine the quality of life. As we can see in in the area plot that we designed, is that the most of the water is used by the industry, which is the 3 times of what households are using. Another key point is that there are still more than half of units that are still yet to be used by the government of Canada. So we can say that there are plenty of resources left for Canada and for its residents. So there won't be any shortage of water in coming years. So from this we can conclude that after analyzing all these infographics, we came to conclude that the quality of life in Canada is much better compared to other countries. Yet there are some yet there are some areas where they can improve in terms of victimization and also in loneliness. The government of Canada can come up with some steps or initiatives to get closer to make more inclusive in the society, and they can also look into the states of Alberta, Nunavut, uh, and Northern Territory to, as they have a lot high victimization rate. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.